Hi, I'm Richard Schneider. I'm the executive editor for the Pensacola News Journal, and I'm joined today by managing editor Ginny Gray-Beal and Travis Griggs, who is our reporter. And we are going to talk a little bit about the making of the Frontera Circle story, which appeared in Sunday's Pensacola News Journal. It's quite a story where 2,000 police calls have been recorded for that one area within the last 4 years. So it's quite a troubled spot in our community. And Ginny, I'd like to start off with you and talk a little bit about how the story idea came to fruition.
Well, it came about because of a letter that Zeno Ware had sent to Sheriff Morgan and also sent to me, just talking about some of the problems he was having selling some of his foreclosed properties and how he thought that he couldn't sell them because of the terrible crime problem. And he particularly talked about Frontera Circle.
Now, I think a lot of our readers might be interested to know how many times a story actually comes from other readers calling in.
Oh, well, that is actually very common. I mean, all of the emails that we get, the calls that we get, we really do pay a lot of attention to, and we try to check out. And
so you turned the story over to Travis. Travis, what did you think when you got the assignment?
Well, the first time we drive through that neighborhood, it's hard not to be kind of shocked with just how devastated it is over there. And especially, I live less than a mile from there, as the crow flies, and it's kind of strange how it can be tucked back in there and hidden, just barely out of sight. But it's been a big problem for a lot of people.
What was your first impression?
My first impression was really just how can it get this far gone? You know, how can there be this many empty houses, this much vandalism, this much just destruction on a little street in Pensacola?
Now, you had trouble, I think. You had some people who would talk to you, but a lot of people wouldn't. How do you get people to talk to you about a situation where these people feel if they talk to a reporter, they might be in danger?
Yeah, it's tricky. It's always kind of touchy with you have to really respect people's wishes on that. And while we're already coming in writing a story, these are folks that have to live there every day. And with this story, more so than usual, we let people go, come in and speak anonymously. And these are all folks that are definitely there, definitely checked out. But I really do have to feel like I would be nervous if it was me, and I put my name in the paper behind it.
Ginny, what's the policy of your policy and the paper's policy on anonymous sources, and why did we decide to use some in this story?
Well, we use anonymous sources really only in extraordinary circumstances, and when we do use an anonymous source, we, the editors, know who the source is so that we can certainly vouch for their validity. In this case, we thought there was a legitimate safety concern among some of the people that talked to us, and while we know who they are and we can get back in touch with them, we didn't want to put their names out there.
Now, Travis, I think when you first went out, and with a photographer, I believe, you went with a sheriff's escort. Is that correct, or was that later?
By that point, we'd been there a few times, and this was our kind of most high-profile visit where we actually went into some of these houses that had been abandoned. And at that point, it really was nice to have a sheriff's escort there because you don't know who you're going to find inside these places. But for most of the reporting, it was either just me or me and a photographer out there and talking with people and just on the ground reporting work.
Tell us a little bit about the places you went in.
We went in probably a half dozen of the houses on this strip. They're packed together little townhouses, some of them 2 stories, some of them just 1. And there are all kinds of mess inside of these places. Vagrants and squatters have obviously been coming through. There's trash everywhere. One of the places we went in was a Habitat for Humanity house, which had actually never even been completed because it was getting burglarized and broken into before they could get carpet down inside and get somebody moved in.
And what did the police find in these houses?
We found some signs of drug use. They found, cocaine paraphernalia, some baggies that drugs had been in, lots of empty beer cans and things like that, and some marijuana stuff as well.
Ginny, you've been a reporter here for a long time in Pensacola. Was this the worst you've seen a neighborhood in Pensacola?
I think so. I had actually been to the neighborhood several years ago, and I was appalled by it then. And then when I went back, it's such a hidden neighborhood, so it's just not something you're typically running across. And I guess you would say that I was re-appalled. I would say that Sheriff Morgan has been very helpful with the whole series, and he actually already had a code enforcement operation planned for Frontera, but he has moved that up, and that is going to take place this Thursday.
Travis, we're running out of time, so one more question for you.
Sure.
What is the one takeaway as a reporter that you learned from this?
Oh man, one thing I'm taking away from this. You know, it's amazing how easy it is to ignore a problem like this if it's just a little bit out of sight. You know, when you're faced with a difficult decision for how to deal with something, whether it be as a resident or a county administrator or an elected official, you know, sometimes if no one's looking, it's easy to just kind of turn the other way. I think that's the case here.
Ginny, what does this type of journalism do to our community, do you think?
I think that we just want to be part of all areas of Pensacola and bring issues and concerns from all areas of Pensacola to light. I think this is just another example of pervasive community coverage.
Okay, well, thanks guys for joining me. And Frontera Circle is published in Sunday's Pensacola News Journal, the 9th of January. And of course, you can always get it on pnj.com. Thanks a lot for watching.